Hello, good evening. Hello, Frazzled. Good to see you. This will be a quick live. We're going to just go over so much winning, lots of winning going on, amazing things happening. And so, as of right now, USAID is done, shut off, shut down. And I love it myself. When you see all the nonsense that's been going on, it's disgusting. It's really disgusting. Uh, it's really pitiful, the people that are fighting over it. I know. Hello. Yeah, it's I love it. I love it. Hey, Happy. Hello, Debbie. Yes, this is good stuff. Of course, when you've got so many people fighting back, that tells you something. Of course, that tells you that it's a good thing. And just the stuff that they're finding, it is so gross. I mean, just frustrating. But it's a good day because it's happening, and it is high time. Lots of stuff to do to go through here. Oh, what in the world? Okay, that wrong thing came up for me real quick. Hold on. Hold, please. Yeah. Have you guys been seeing like all day? It's just so much stuff. I can't get enough of it. Okay, it's kind of loud over here right this second. Okay. Yeah, I woke up this morning and I heard all kinds of people really mad, and I thought, okay, that's a good thing. I know, right? Happy. It's so awesome. It's like a breath of fresh air. It really is. Like, it's about time. You guys been pulling your crap so long. It's ridiculous. And you see all the things that I knew. I was like, what is the deal with Ukraine? Like, something is very queer going on here. Months ago, I was like, I'm smelling something, some kind of rat, because first of all, they only really care about this stuff monetarily. We just got to keep giving them money, keep giving them money. That's what we got to, right? They're on every channel, telling everybody how we got to keep giving Ukraine money. Again, we have constantly been supporting both sides of every kind of war that goes on, right? So there's some bullshit. And now we find out they're the ones getting the money. It's so gross. It's criminal. I really can't wait for, people are going to be behind bars. They are. And, everybody's all up in arms about this tariff stuff. Well, you see, Mexico's already caved. Look at Panama's caving. I mean, Canada acts like they're not. They're trying to be big badasses. They don't have a choice. Our politicians have been wanting us to pay for all kinds of horse shit. Absolute horse shit, literally. And fill their pockets. Enough is enough. Yep, Mexico's already caved. Panama too. But Panama, not even enough for Trump. I mean, he's like, no, that's not enough. No. I love it. Yes. Because we haven't been allowed to grow food ourselves here. No reason for it. It's disgusting because of their environmental shit. This is the problem. They have been using their environmental shit to screw us every which way they possibly can. And guess what? The people that are making money off of all this shit don't give a crap about the damn environment. They're the worst polluters. China is the worst. But we're going to buy our produce from them. Not let anybody here have any part of it. It's disgusting. It's so gross. I'm just fed up. They've been pulling this shit for so long. This smelt fish, whatever it is. Whatever shit they can pull out of their ass. Yeah, let's hear some of this crap that they've been. Meanwhile, here we have what percentage of the people that go to school here in America don't have a third grade reading level? I mean, give me a stinking break. I cannot deal with these people. Hear this. Oh my God. I love it. You guys, the website is freaking love this. Winning, like tiger blood, man. I'm telling you.
Please join me on my daily routine of going to an obscure deep state government website to check in on left-wing money laundering around the globe. Today, let's try
That's what it is, money laundering.
USAID. Remember, they're the guys who like put up tents or
exactly
bring bread to people who are starving in Africa, right? Oh, and it's gone. And it's gone. Ladies and gentlemen, the website for USAID completely taken offline, along with the X account for USAID, literally deleted. Although, of course, some of their work still remains. You can see here, foreignassistance.gov. The billions of dollars that America has given to the countries that hate us. Why so much money for sub-Saharan Africa? A lot of Americans there to help out? Huh? America, the only country that taxes its own citizens and sends that money somewhere else. Any other countries tax their citizens and send money to the United States? Anyone? Nothing? Well, it sounds like that's not a good return on investment for the American taxpayer. And so Elon Musk has officially shut down USAID. But oh boy, the rabbit hole goes much, much deeper than that. Elon Musk shuts down USAID with Trump's approval hours after taking control of it and locks out 600 staffers overnight directly into my veins. Elon Musk and President Trump has shut down the embattled government agency tasked with humanitarian relief overseas, as they agree the organization was beyond repair. The billionaire first buddy led a civilian review of the federal government's Trump's go-ahead and decided to shut down the U.S. Agency for International Development. You thought aid stood for giving aid to someone, like bread or shelter or clean water? No. It's international development.
See, this is the thing. So what you have, all in the name of environment. This shit right here happens, right? And when Los Angeles is burning to the ground, no water comes out of the hydrant. This is literally the epitome of bullshit. And, it might be a little bit, humorous. But when you're talking about, we're paying this bullshit. This is our money. Hello, Try Me. Good to see you. It's, oh my God.
The staff were shocked when they woke up on Monday morning with emails instructing them to stay out of the agency's DC headquarters. Into my veins. It became apparent that it's not an apple with a worm, Musk said, talking about USAID. What we have here is just a ball of worms. You've got basically to get rid of the whole thing. It's beyond repair. We're shutting it down, he said in an audio appearance on X. Why would you shut it down? Well, Carolyn Levitt at the White House detailing exactly what USAID was doing. Let's just say it's not giving little loaves of bread to starving children.
Live coverage.
Through USAID over the past several years, these are some of the insane that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either, and that's exactly what Elon Musk has been tasked by President Trump to do, to get the fraud, waste, and abuse out of our federal government.
Ah, yes, this crap. Isn't it wonderful to hear people inside of our federal government talk like you and me, the same values as you and I do, without this kind of like, I don't know what, like these NPC, like highfalutin arrogance, this John Kerry style of, oh, we're so much wiser, so much smarter, so much more advanced and developed than you.
Right.
Yeah. What's actually happening here, if you want to talk about development, is the development of a CIA cutout organization in order to influence countries all around the world by leveraging them with your tax dollars.
Right.
So the deep state and the World Economic Forum globalists can get what they want in every single country, and they use the straps off our backs as American taxpayers to get it. All the shocking ways that USAID spent your money. Let's go ahead and look at this organization that has
I know, right?
more money than the CIA and the State Department combined. Why does USAID get so much money? $30 billion budget. Goodness gracious. Let's go ahead and check it. HIV research about transgenders in South Africa. Millions to COVID in China to create literally a COVID lab. Serbian LGBTQ plus group. There you go. Look, these are your American taxpayer. Do you think our current leadership was part of like a satanic, demonic, cultish empire that they were trying to create and destroy Western civilization? Like, look no further, ladies and gentlemen, than what they spent their money on. Here we go. Electric vehicles in Vietnam. Oh, okay. Got it. Because that's what the Vietnamese mean.
Can you believe this shit?
After we bomb and strafe their country to smithereens for virtually no reason at all, we give them electric vehicles. Trans care clinics, LG alphabet initiatives globally, operas in Colombia, Peruvian trans comic books. The Peruvian trans comic book program received $32,000 from Anthony Blinken. Efforts to expand atheism abroad.
See, okay, there you have it. Efforts to expand atheism. As if we didn't know how anti-Christian they are. It's money laundering. Yes, you're right. Definitely that Ukraine money has been money laundering. 100%. It's a crime. They need to go to jail. They need to go to jail. Sick and tired of this shit. Lindsey, Muffin Cumberpatch, Graham. They all do. And stealing from us all this time. And they don't stop this stuff. It never stops. They just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Oh, this Ukraine shit is crazy. It's some crazy bullshit. Sick and fed up with that shit.
Well, my point, I suppose, has been proven. The U.S. has spent $500,000 to expand atheism in Nepal. Why would you wish to expand atheism? Why would you wish to do any of these things with the American government's money? It doesn't make any sense at all, and it seems like it could really end ruinously for us, and it did.
Peter, what's going on?
Well, it's been run by a bunch of radical lunatics, and we're getting them out. USAID, run by radical lunatics, and we're getting them out, and then we'll...
I love him. I can't handle that. I freaking love that. How true is that? Hey, Two Skulls. Lunatics. That's exactly right. You know what? If you want to give your own money to go do that stuff, that's great. I don't want to. You steal enough money from us. Go ahead and have all the causes you want to. I don't care. That's not my problem. Bunch of damn bullshit.
We'll make a decision.
Elon Musk
we dug into USAID, it became apparent that what we have here is not an apple with a worm in it, but we have actually just a bowl of worms. Right. And so at the point at which you don't really, like, if you've got an apple and it's got a worm in it, maybe you can take the worm out. But if you've got actually just a bowl of worms, it's hopeless. And USAID is a bowl of worms. Mm-hmm. There is no apple. And when there is no apple, you've just got to basically get rid of the whole thing.
Get it, rid of, and call it a criminal organization, as Elon Musk has done. Mm-hmm. Federal procurement data shows that USAID approved over $6 million in contracts just on Friday. That's in spite of President Trump ordering them to freeze all spending. They're defying the president. Why are they funding organizations with 7 CIA directors on their boards to train up hundreds of people in censorship? This is the kind of stuff that USAID was doing.
Yep.
Because USAID was a radical left-wing political psyop. What people think paying taxes like, what paying taxes is actually like, throwing money into a flaming fire. But this meme isn't actually justified in how bad the taxpayer money is spent.
It's not.
Because what we found out was that USAID was actually paying for the creation of COVID-19. USAID was paying the Wuhan laboratory $40 million. Dr. Fauci in charge, channeling that funding, even though it's illegal to do gain-of-function research in America, they were doing it in China. They created COVID.
14, there are riots it's called the Maidan Rebellion in Ukraine, which we're not told that we are financing those riots. The newspapers never told us, our government never told us. USAID, which is a CIA front, put $5 billion into funding those riots. Those riots lead to a coup d'etat against the first democratically elected government of the Ukraine. It was a government that refused to choose sides and to say, we're going to be on the side of the West. So we wanted them out. A month before that government is overthrown, Victoria Nuland, who's the part of the centerpiece of the neocon ideology and who is now a high-level official in the State Department, has a secret call with the U.S. ambassador, which is tape recorded and is now public, which anybody can go and look up, where she is picking the new cabinet for the Ukraine, which is a U.S. Western cabinet. So they're picking the new government a month before the old government is overthrown.
Is that how democracy? Is that democracy when Victoria Nuland picks your government?
Well, that's the point. Is USAID doesn't really do, and the CIA don't do democracy. The CIA has overthrown, I think, 83 governments between 1947 and 1997. That's a third of the governments on Earth, and most of them were democracies.
See? Just like I said, why, so many things you sit here and go, that doesn't make any sense. It makes sense for themselves. They're going to run around. They've been running a fucking muck, doing all kinds of horse shit and having us pay for it. and then laundering the damn money, then taking the money and dividing it up, but I don't know what the hell they're doing with it. Ukraine, Zelensky, not that I believe him, but he even said most of that money they didn't actually get. It stayed right here, lining these son of a bitches' pockets. Fucking bullshit.
What about our own government? Was COVID-19, the release of that virus, an overthrow of the American government? It's damn right, you bet your ass it was. Let me get this straight. Dr. Fauci, USAID spent over $40 million in taxpayer funding to support Wuhan working on bat coronaviruses before COVID-19 outbreak, and the patient zero, the first guy who got COVID, was somebody who was directly being funded by Dr. Fauci. Got it.
Hey, Flora.
Well, ladies and gentlemen. Now, 2 years ago, why I said my pronouns were prosecute Fauci. Incredible. This was happening, of course, back to when Dr. Fauci started doing this. Dr. Fauci's backdated pardon was 2014. Just a coincidence. Would you look at that? Here's the actual money going from the American taxpayers into the creation of COVID-19. And
Can you believe that? We knew something was up, because how weird. That was very specific, right? To 2014. What? Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
The overthrow of governments all around the country, all around the world, correction there, including Ukraine, who, of course, doesn't know where any of the money went. So it's just basic money laundering. Here's Zelensky.
Дивіться, я коли чую, і раніше чув, і сьогодні ми чуємо від Сполучених Штатів Америки, що Америка дала Україні сотні мільярдів, 177, якщо сказати більш точно. Така звучала точна цифра, яку підтримували або голосував Конгрес, тощо різні організації. Дивіться, я як президент воюючої країни вам говорю, ми отримали більше 75. Тобто 100 мільярдів з цих 177 або 200, говорять навіть де.
We don't know where $100 billion went. No idea. We don't know where $100 billion went. I bet Elon got to DC and asked where all the money's going, and nobody could answer. So he asked how the payments are being made, and it turns out there's one department that does them all. Obviously, he's like, great, we're going to go there. That's how crazy that no previous administration even thought to ask this. Elon Musk saying, yeah, exactly. This is how you stop fraud and waste.
Yep.
Well, now
$100 billion.
Marco Rubio has been put in charge of USAID, head of the agency. USAID will be merged with the State Department and cut virtually all of its workforce.
I know.
It will remain a humanitarian aid entity, but it's going to be under new management. This dude who says this about USAID.
Well, look, I mean, my frustration with USAID goes back to my time in Congress. It's a completely unresponsive agency. It's supposed to respond to policy directives of the State Department, and it refuses to do so. So the functions of USAID, there are a lot of functions of USAID that are going to continue, that are going to be part of American foreign policy, but it has to be aligned with American foreign policy. I said very clearly during my confirmation hearing that every dollar we spend and every program we fund, that will be aligned with the national interest of the United States. And USAID has a history of sort of ignoring that and deciding that there's somehow a...
See, how do you just ignore that? How do you just ignore that? They refuse to answer. So, no big deal. This is what we see happens in Congress all the time, right? People go there, refuse to answer. You know, why don't you try to refuse to pay your taxes and see what happens? See if they fucking just forget about that. I mean, literally, it's unbelievable. Go to jail. Go to jail. That's what would happen to me if I didn't pay my damn taxes. I would go to jail. Period. I mean, give me a break. It's so disgusting. Welcome, OG.
Global charity separate from the national interest. These are taxpayer dollars. And so I'm very troubled by these reports that they've been unwilling. People who are asking simple questions about what does this program do, who gets the money, who are our contractors, who's funded, and that sort of level of insubordination makes it impossible to conduct the sort of mature and serious review that I think foreign aid writ large should have.
What a beautiful moment to just like appreciate that literally daddy's home, adults are back in charge, like people are watching your back as the American taxpayer, as the wage slaves who fund all of this garbage. USAID is for starving children. USAID funds $20 million for the creation of Iraqi Sesame Street to promote inclusion in Iraq. Ron Paul, all you need to know, saying audit USAID, then shut it down. Well, they did it. And guess what? All the right people are seething and screaming and shrieking like demons outside of USAID. Never saw any Democrat go and protest literally ever over the last 4 years, anything that the federal government did. But now they're holding up anti-Doge signs. Hysterical, unhappy, gray-haired cat ladies who smell like mothballs. USAID down, ladies and gentlemen. They're screaming about it. Why did USAID get such a large portion of the aid that went to Ukraine? Allocations $183 billion for Ukraine, but a lot of it went to USAID. Some of it went to the Defense Department, but like exactly what do they do there? Again, Zelensky doesn't know. He has no idea. We don't know where the money is, he says. This is money laundering, and that's what we've now learned. It's all money laundering to left-wing causes. It's money laundering into left-wing politicians, into their little organizations. People like Bill Kristol go and start Defending Democracy endowment organization. They get $50 million from USAID, and then Bill Kristol does zero work. They host like a workshop, right, that nobody watches, nobody cares about, and then he takes a $20 million salary. It's just basic money laundering. USAID, like the National Endowment for Democracy, are well-documented CIA fronts that are designed to manipulate other countries' internal politics for the benefit of DC elites and no one else in the United States. Both agencies are wrought with destruction and cannot die soon enough. Nayib Bukele, who's the president of El Salvador, saying effectively saying we don't want USAID. We don't want the aid. We don't want it because we actually understand what you're doing here, right? How stupid do you think we are? Most governments don't want USAID funds flowing into their countries because they understand that much of it will be used to fund opposition groups, NGOs, political agendas, and destabilizing movements. At best, maybe 10% of the money reaches real projects that help people in need. But the rest is used to fuel dissent, finance protests, and undermine administrations that refuse to align with globalist agenda. Cutting this so-called aid isn't just beneficial to the United States, it's also a big win for the rest of the world.
Right.
It is a big win for all of us. Ladies and gentlemen,
it
is a fifth column organization that has been used to terrorize American citizens and also terrorize Donald Trump. Holy smokes. Did you know that USAID has twice as much money as George Soros to the organization that creates Soros prosecutors? So as much as we go on and on about George Soros, it's actually USAID that was funding the President Trump prosecutions. It was you and me with a gun to our head funding the prosecutions of Donald Trump, the candidate that the vast majority of the American public voted for and wants as president. They were stealing our money to try and put him in prison or kill him. This is what these monsters were doing. And what I mean by kill him is, well, criminally underfunding and understaffing his Secret Service, making sure that Donald Trump was a target. So, an explanation from Mike Benz is necessary here to explain this absolute rat's nest of USAID and why it must die, ladies and gentlemen. We're super thankful for Elon Musk for finally getting out the chainsaw.
What is USAID? When people hear the name USAID, they focus on aid. They focus on thinking like it's humanitarian work. But aid is not actually in the name of USAID. USAID stands for the United States Agency for International Development, not aid. It's not a charity. And international development is simply capacity building. It is local and regional capacity building done across the whole world, i.e. internationally. The primal id in USAID, international development, is about capacity building of assets that can be used by either the Pentagon, the State Department, or the CIA for their own activities. So if you're the Secretary of State and you were asked by the National Security Council or the President to do something in a different country, overthrow their government, stop the passage of a bill in a foreign country's legislature, how would you do that? And the first thing that I said is you would look at the assets that already exist in the country. Do we need new assets in addition to the ones that we currently have, or are the existing assets, can they achieve this simply by giving them enough money, giving them enough resources, giving them enough training, giving them enough support? One of the main ways that capacity building would be financed would be through USAID. USAID would say that it's doing something, funding a hospital system, funding universities, funding civil society organizations, funding media institutions, funding independent media in the region. Sorry, it's something in my eye. Independent media in the region on USAID payroll. And those institutions, those assets would then be bigger and more powerful and more more capable of serving the State Department's goal, aka advancing U.S. national interests. USAID has a bigger budget than the State Department, over $50 billion. It is a bigger budget than the CIA. The entire intelligence community only has about 72 billion. So that's the CIA plus the 16 others. And USAID has a bigger budget than the CIA and is almost the size of the entire intelligence community combined. That is how important USAID is to American statecraft. It is an intelligence community, a State Department, and a Pentagon assistance organization rolled into one. I just copied this from the USAID website. USAID carries out U.S. foreign policy, advances U.S. national interests by promoting broad-scale human progress. At the same time, it expands stable, free societies, creates markets and trade partners for the United States, and fosters goodwill abroad. The operative phrases here are carries out U.S. foreign policy. This is not charity work. This is not aid. This is cynical, self-serving purposes. And what is it seeking to do? Free societies, open societies. Why does USAID want other countries to be open societies? Because that's how you get the influence in. If a country is a closed society, they're closed off from USAID influence. We cannot capacity build our assets there. Closed societies box USAID out. China is a closed society. That is why we have not been able to topple the government of China, despite having tried for 100 years now almost. We have not been able to topple Putin from Russia. Why? Because Russia is a closed society. Like China, they kicked USAID out. It is not an open society. And so the USAID can't just take over their entire media ecosystem by funding 100 different media propaganda outlets in the region to sway hearts and minds. And remember, that's what this is. It's hearts and minds and cash. That's what soft power is. They call it hearts and minds work, but it's cash that does the moving of those hearts and minds, especially of the leaders of the movements.
So, where do you even start, right? It's just criminal. Where is all that money? Like I said, a lot of it, of course, the defense. This is why these people that's why they need to have all these wars, because they got to, first of all, get in other people's business that they don't belong in. Secondly, they have to find a way to convince all of us, that they've got to keep giving Ukraine money. They just got to keep giving them money. Then we go and help Putin. What the hell? So using our money to play both sides, to squander, to steal. Me too. Can you imagine? Can you even imagine? It's infuriating. It's infuriating. They are full of shit. They are. It just makes me so angry. I can't stand it. So happy for this to happen. And, you know, like I was overwhelmed this morning with all the things going on. And I'm like, you know, people don't even, no one can talk about, you know, we got 6 hostages removed from Venezuela on Friday night. I didn't even know we had hostages in Venezuela. And what the fuck are we doing? What have we been doing? We have been spending our money to do things that we don't want done to us. There are, right? You can't even keep track of all the stuff going on right now. And it's beautiful. I mean, I'm so happy. I'm so furious that it's been happening. The things that we've been doing. You know, just to everything, you know, making us sick and screwing us over with pharmaceuticals just so they can hand over all this money to these people. It's just, and of course they're pissed. Oh, they're pissed. Yep. Yep, they're protesting actually. Huh? They are. Yeah. Yeah. Congress is protesting. Yeah, it's unconstitutional. No, what you've been doing is unconstitutional, you pieces of absolute garbage. Let me see. Oh, these are for later. Yeah. They're protesting outside. Oh, I have that. Dang it. Where did it go? God, shit is happening so fast you can't keep up. Oh my God. Oh, wait, what just, hold on. Oh, okay. See, God, there's just so much. I can't keep up with all of this. Okay. Stop it. Okay. You need to shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Yeah, this is hilarious. They really don't know what the hell to do with themselves. They do not.
If they're this pissed, we're right on top.
That's right. Right. If they're this mad, that perfect.
It is really, really a sad day in America. We are witnessing a constitutional crisis. We talked about Trump wanting to be a dictator on day one, and here we are. This is what the beginning of dictatorship looks like. When you gut the Constitution and you install yourself as the sole power, that is how dictators are made. What Trump and Elon and all of their cronies are trying to do is take away the constitutional power of Congress. We get to decide. We have the power of the purse. We get to decide where money is allocated, and it's the executive's power to make sure that that money gets to where it needs to get. What
you've been doing with money is unconstitutional. 100%. You know, I'm not going to go into history about this, but let's be very clear. They have been beyond unconstitutional. Half their shit is. Most of what these people do. Tell me where in the Constitution it says that somehow or another you making $170,000 a year equals you becoming a millionaire. How does that work? How does that work? These people are worth a lot of money. And it is not the $170,000 a year they're making. Why do you think they won't leave? They won't leave. They get paid forever. They won't leave. You can't get their asses out of there. It's other bullshit they're involved in. They're stealing. Don't talk about the Constitution to me, bitch. Don't even do it. Don't even go there. You all belong in jail. Period.
Talk about civil servants being let go.
Yep.
What we are talking about is not saving money. It's essentially saying they can get paid while they're home and their work doesn't get done on behalf of the American people.
Right.
It is us, taxpayers, who are being ripped off. It is us, taxpayers, who are not getting the resources that we paid into. So I ask the American people, do you want people at home and getting a paycheck and not providing services to you? The answer is no. Do you want the executive making the only decisions in this country, or do you want the elected representatives that you send to Washington making those policies?
Now, let me tell you something. Everything you guys do, you sneak this shit in, number one, if you pass a bill. I don't know about this. This organization right here, I don't even know how any of that is decided. Besides your bullshit. And too much stuff has gone unchecked. No, you don't need to talk about the... And you know what? Do you really think you're going to get people behind you whenever they see this crap? Because whoever defends this bullshit, again, you need to put your own money and pay for that crap. Go ahead. I don't have... Do whatever the hell you want to with your money. Quit deciding what kind of garbage I'm going to fucking pay for. Sick to death of that shit. They do this crap all the time. But enough's enough. I think it's beautiful for someone to come in and say, look, because you know what? First of all, okay, let's get something very clear. We don't have the money to keep paying the things we are. I don't know about anybody else, but guess what? When your bills exceed your income, you need to change something at your own house, correct? Or do you just get to keep doing it? How long does that work out for you? Only the federal government can just keep printing money and ruining the fucking dollar. They don't give a shit. No, it doesn't work that way. You know, nobody else gets to pull this shit in their own house. Why do you guys get to pull it? And you have people not working, getting paid. We're paying rent and utilities on buildings nobody's in. I mean, give me a break. Who the hell would do that? It makes zero sense. Right. That's what I'm saying. I mean, come on. No, it's sick. It's sick. Right. They haven't passed a budget since, what is it? Was 94? 94. I actually really totally remember them passing a budget because it was like this monumental thing. And I know, I want to say 94, 95. Pretty sure it was 95. It was pretty monumental. And it was extremely monumental because we had a House majority of Republicans and a Democrat president. Because I'm pretty sure, I mean, I'm positive it was Newt and Clinton. Yes. Yep. Newt Gingrich was Speaker of the House and Clinton was president. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. That's the last time it's happened. So don't talk about the Constitution to me. Don't talk about it. First of all, these people don't even know the Constitution. These people won't even put their hand on a Bible. We are paying for people to be atheists, to teach people how to be atheists in other countries. Really? Like it or not, our Constitution, 100%. I mean, we're given a freedom of religion, but this is a Christian nation. It was founded on Judeo-Christian values. That's a flat ass fact. My opinion, it's the most brilliant document ever written. And it was written after 4 solid days of prayer. I don't know if you guys know that, but when they got ready to write our Constitution, they were just fussing with each other. They couldn't do it. And they realized they had to go to complete prayer to get it done. And that's what happened. And that is when Benjamin Franklin said, "We have given you a republic if you can keep it." And that's the problem. Our government jumped in and got a hold of our education system, so nobody knows a damn thing. They went and got involved in every damn aspect, so no one has. You talk to people, they don't know shit. Exactly right. It is. That is, and when you go to DC, it's amazing to see some of the stuff there. I've become so emotional every time I'm there. When you see massive things, huge pieces of marble, and it's chiseled. It's beautiful. And God is chiseled everywhere. And I say to myself, how can you even be here? I go there and I'm just taken over by emotion. And it's amazing the things that happen. And how do you go there and be so dirty and gross? But they do. But it is our responsibility. We keep saying they need term limits. The only people who can give them term limits is themselves. You guys understand that? And they're not going to do it. We are supposed, the founding fathers said we need to give them term limits. We tell them when it's time to go, but we don't. We don't pay attention. We pay no attention. Oh, I love that. Happy. No, nobody's dumb. They don't want, because knowledge is power. They don't want anybody to know anything. They don't. They want to go and teach everybody about transgender and shit. Okay, if that's your lifestyle, that's your business. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but shut the fuck up. I don't need my kids learning any of your ideas. None of them. Reading, writing, and arithmetic. Teach them some civics. How about that? Nobody even knows what civics is these days. It's not a subject in school. The fuck? No, why would they want you to know civics? You might know what kind of bullshit they're doing. That's exactly what's happening. It's disgusting, and I'm so happy to see this is happening. It's not. Who knows what's going to happen? Exactly. Who knows what's going to happen to them? You're exactly right. Exactly right. I wouldn't be able to send my kids today. I don't think I could handle it. I don't think I could do it. And I can tell you, even back in the day when my kids were in school, first of all, my daughter would fight them herself because she knew history better than her teachers. And she would literally fight with them and tell them, you are lying. That is not true. I'm not tolerating it. And she would come home and tell, I remember when she came home and said, we have to turn everything off at 9:00 tonight, and I said, I'll do whatever the fuck I want to. Your teacher don't tell me shit. She was falling for all this climate shit. And I said, well, whenever you have your own home, you can do whatever you want to. You nor your fucking teacher tell me what the fuck to do at my house. You insane? She was trying to get me to buy all kinds of recycled shit. I fucking put the kibosh on that right away. Nobody tells me what to do in my own house. This is America. I'll do whatever the hell I want to. If I'm breaking the law, call the police. Otherwise, stay the fuck out of my business. That's what they do, though. That's why you have these kids out acting idiot. They don't even know what they're protesting half the time. Right. See, exactly. Yeah, don't tell my kids how to think about anything. They'll get their values from home, thank you. It is not your place. And you hear people saying, well, not everybody talks to their kids. Well, too damn bad. Too damn bad. My kids were brought up in a faith-based home, and that's our decision. Their parents' decision what happens in their house. Like I said, if it's not against the law, then stay the hell out of my business. I never tolerated that shit. Never one damn time. I remember when the kids got to a certain age, they when we took them for a physical, they wanted to talk to them on their own. I guess it was new to me. They were around junior high age, and I'm like, about what? And what they wanted to do was ask them, like, like if anyone's, abusing them or whatever, okay, I could understand that, I guess, to an extent. Because if kids are being abused, you want them to have a way to tell or whatever. But they started asking, did we have weapons in our home and all? Get the fuck out of here. That's none of your business. First of all, straight the fuck up. I do always have. Always have. My entire life. But it's none of your business. But if you notice, you guys, several years ago, I forget when this was. I don't remember, they were on this big kick, and I think it probably even happened more recently as well. They were on this big kick of, tell on your parents. and not for, you know, abusing you, telling your parents for, you know, trying to go, you know, spread disinformation or some shit. It's ridiculous. Right, Frazzle, right. Yep. Government can stay the hell out of my house. It ain't none of their damn business. And give me a break. Like, they're not all up in here. We got rid of Alexa and Echo and Dot. I don't know what, all that. They still are listening to me somewhere. I don't know where the hell they're listening, but they're listening to every damn thing. That's why, again, think about this, okay? That kid that shot Trump never had any social media his whole life. Really. Scrub clean. Nothing. We know nothing about that. Nothing. We know nothing about that guy at all. Do you remember the guy that went and blew all that shit up in New Orleans on New Year's Day? The cops left his place wide open with the warrant sitting right out there. You could walk in and see anything. Like, I mean, there's a reason for this kind of shit that goes on. Now, again, I don't know what happened with this plane and helicopter crash. Obviously, I don't know. But first of all, when they told us that they weren't going to release the name of that pilot, why not? Well, her family doesn't want you to. Well, too fucking bad. Too bad. She hit a fucking commercial airliner. I don't give a shit if they want us to or not. Well, finally, they let the name out. There again, scrubbed clean. Nothing on her. Nothing. No social media. Now, isn't that weird? It's like fucking Seth Rogers, huh? All these people have no social media. Yeah, something very... You're insisting, I think, something weird about it. Exactly right, Debbie. What the hell? What the hell? I don't know what happened there. I'm not going to pretend to know. I know what it looks like. Doesn't look good. We found out just right before I came live that discrepancies in people's altitudes and what, of course there is. Okay, whatever. We don't know what happened, but you're making me think something weird about her. I can't help it. The minute you said you're not going to tell us her name, well, I got some issues. I mean, really? And we're supposed to just buy this shit. No, I'm sorry. I don't. You're full of shit. You are lying all the time. And that's just it. You know, this is what I used to tell my kids when they were all through growing up. First of all, you cannot be a liar, a thief, or a lazy ass. Nobody, that's not acceptable. Nobody wants anything to do with anybody like that. That's ridiculous. That cannot be a thing. And be very clear, whenever you lie, people have no choice but to just automatically assume that you're lying all the time. They can't believe a damn word you say. So don't be known as a liar. You know, I want people, sometimes I don't say the nicest thing, but I really count on people saying, well, that's really weird, but Jackie doesn't lie, okay? So that's what I need people to feel, okay? I need that when I say something with a degree of reasonable they can trust that. So once you have known, you are known to be a liar, which our government is, I don't believe shit you're telling me. I don't believe nothing you're telling me. I just don't believe you. Sorry. You know, I mean, it's a real, we all learned about the boy that cried wolf. Guess what? It's a real fucking simple situation here. You lie and then people don't believe you. So whenever you want to really tell the truth, guess what? Well, sorry. I can't go there because I don't believe you. So who knows what the hell? Who knows what the hell they happened with her? And it might be very she might be a victim of something. I'm not saying she's not, but I don't believe their asses for shit. It is very odd. It is. Right? And that's just it. Had they not acted weird, you might have just gone along with it, because I can understand that accidents happen, things happen. But now you're making me think that what I see is kind of what I see. Yeah, it's just really gross. And we're not, who knows if we'll ever know, right? I hate to talk about it. I hate to bring it up all the time, but as much as I hate to constantly say it, I'm glad that my mind never, ever lets it go, because for some reason, everybody has just accepted that a whole motherfucking plane disappeared off the face of the earth, and everyone's good with it. I'm never going to be okay with that Malaysian flight. Where the fuck is it? But see, they just stopped talking about it because you get new news goes on, and everyone forgets about stuff. If we don't hold their feet to the fire on any of this stuff, we'll just never know. They'll just pretend. Like whatever. So for me, this is why I love that they're going through this stuff and saying, look, Mike Johnson was going to pass that damn bill that had all that crap in it until they came out and showed us what all was in it. That's the thing. She wants to sit here and talk to the American people, the taxpayers. Well, guess what? I feel like most people are not okay with what that money is spent on. So I don't know how far you're going to get with that shit. Because it's all well and good to go out there and say that until people have the paperwork saying what happened, where it's going. That makes a little different story. Okay, so I'm going to end this. I'm going to come right back on because I want to talk about this this migrant nonsense, protests and all. But I don't want to have people watching something and it not be what I said it's about. So I set up a different live to go over there, and now I'm late for it, but I'm sorry. I got, me in this mouth. I can't help it. I get very passionate about this kind of stuff. So, and you know what? All of a sudden, we're kind of allowed to talk about it again.
Not great.
We weren't allowed to talk about it for 4 whole years.
Like a new day.
So now we can talk about it. Now I got to. I can't help it. Okay, I'm going to end this and I'm going to go right over there immediately. I'm not even going to go potty. I don't have to. I'm good. I'm kidding you. Okay. I'll see you in a second. Love you guys. Thank you.